how is everyone doing this morning? I hope that your day is off to a wonderful, fantastic start. If this is your first time here, hi, my name is Carrington. Not your first time here, hi, welcome back. If you enjoyed any and all things makeup related, definitely go ahead, hit that subscribe button, click the little bell, so you know about all my future uploads, and so you can join this dumpster fire family. Also, don't forget to go and follow me over on Instagram. I am really excited to start posting more on Instagram. So definitely go and follow me over on Instagram, and let's go ahead and let's get started. So I feel like I was on my way to work and I saw, oh, I can't remember who it was now, do like if I could only keep 10 palettes in my collection. And I literally thought, like, based on like how many eyeshadow palettes I have, which is like 400 or 500 eyeshadow palettes around there probably. But this would be like super hard. Like I would just be like, oh my gosh, there's so many good ones. Honestly, I was at work, because remember I was driving to work, and I just like thought about this, like what palettes like would I keep? And honestly, these 10 immediately flew to my mind. Like I knew right there and then at work what 10 palettes I was going to put in this. And then I came home, I got all of them out, and then I did go and kind of compare them to more of my palettes, and I was literally like, no, yeah, these are the 10 that I would absolutely just go ahead and keep. So if you guys are excited to see what 10 palettes I would choose to keep and why, then definitely keep on watching. Okay, so number one, I knew I needed something that was going to have like my grungy greens in it. So I am one of those, I don't really care for blues. I don't really care for like bright oranges, reds, things like that, yellows, but I love greens. I love grungy greens. I love like purples and pinks and neutrals. So I knew I needed something that was going to really be able to cover my grungy green need. And I immediately thought of this palette right here, the Ace Beauté Tropical Vibes palette. They recently just released this, but this is such a good palette. I mean, do you see just like all of these beautiful like grunginess of this palette? First of all, their mattes are really nice and pigmented, super soft, and then like their shimmer formula is seriously, it's just like so good. It just looks so wet on the lids. This is definitely like, if I need a grungy green palette, this is it. This is it for me. It has so many different colors in it, so many different variations of that grungy green. You can create just like so many like different looks. You can go for darker and grungy, smoky and grungy, light and grungy. Like you just have like so many different options. So I knew when I needed a grunge green palette, I knew this was going to be it. So next one is, I love fall. I love fall colors. Here's the thing. I will wear fall colors all throughout fall, and I will wear fall colors all throughout the year. I love just like a very, like some good fall colors. You know, I said I don't really like bright oranges, but I really like those burnt oranges, like that are more like associated with like the fall. I like, you know, the greens and things like that. So immediately when I was thinking, I definitely need to make sure I have something where I can get like my fall vibes in, I immediately thought of the Fall Magic palette from Unearthly Cosmetics. This just screams fall to me. You have like those greens in there that are definitely like different kind of tones than what you get in the Ace Beauté. So I really enjoy that. Then you get kind of like these mauvey, grungy types of purples, and then you do have like a lighter pink and like this like burnt brownish orange type shade. And then you have these absolutely beautiful shimmers in here, duochromes. I mean, they just absolutely nailed it with this palette. I do have a backup of this because I think it's so good. And again, like I want to be able to have a palette that like when I'm just like, I need a fall look right now, that if I only had 10 palettes, I knew I could automatically reach into this, create like so many different looks using the different shimmers, the different mattes. Like I could go whatever direction, and whatever direction I went, I knew I was going to get a really good fall look. So I knew I had to have this. The next one is, this is the first palette that I tried from this brand, and I knew as soon as I tried this palette that this was going to be a brand whose formula I could not get enough of, that I needed to make sure I had in my collection. So when I was thinking about like I only can have 10 palettes, I definitely wanted to make sure to include a palette from this brand because I just love the quality of it so much. So then when I was thinking like, oh, you know, there's a lot of different ones I haven't tried, and then there are the ones that I have, but I always just kept going back in my mind to this palette just because of how good it is. And that is going to be the Nomad Haunted Europe palette. First of all, the artwork is just so fun. It's so beautiful. And what's even better is just this color story. You've got, you know, you've got some grays, you've got some neutrals, you've got some greens, you've got some oranges. I mean, you just have just like so many amazing colors in this palette, and like their shimmer formula is absolutely beautiful. On top of their shimmer formula being really good, their mattes are seriously just like so soft, so pigmented, buttery. I mean, Nomad has like seriously an incredible formula. Like that is a really good formula. I'm seriously so impressed with it every time I use that palette. But if I'm being honest with myself, out of all the Nomad palettes, this is definitely probably the color story I would gravitate to the most. It has like my grungy greens, it has some of my like purples in it, it has neutrals, and it has like, you know, an orange. It's still kind of like that burnt type of orange. It's not like a bright, vibrant, in your face neon type orange that I don't really like, that makes me look sickly. So like all of these in here, I love the imprinting, I love the packaging. Like this is just definitely an aesthetic, the vibe, the color story, the formula are all things that I just honestly love. And so I was like, yeah, this has to go in my collection. This has to be like, if I only could keep 10 palettes, this has to go with me. Next up is a brand that I had just recently discovered, but as I keep using more and more of their products, I seriously keep falling in love with it. And basically, I honestly love two palettes. So I have like three brands where I love two palettes from each of them. And so the first one from this brand is going to be the Blend Bunny Cosmetics The Dollhouse palette. If I am wanting to do a really beautiful, kind of neutral, but also has like some pops of colors in it as well, this is that palette. This is a palette where I can like dip into it and really create something beautiful, but like also neutral, but also smoky. I mean, the mattes are really good. You get a ton of like transition options, and then it just gets darker, and you've got like some medium tones. Then you have the smoky, and then you have just like these beautiful, again, these shimmers are also just like so wildly beautiful as well. This one's a little bit more of like a duochrome, and it's just, they're just so good. And so I just love to have this, where I feel like in this palette, it kind of in a way provides me a few more like color options that aren't really in any of these other palettes, while also still like remaining pretty neutral. Gives me those transition shades that like I would really need. Some really like deep, dark, smoky tones that I would need for a couple other palettes if I wanted to go really smoky with the look. I feel like it just kind of has everything in there that like I would need to like complement the rest of these palettes, or using it by itself. I think like this palette is like kind of like completes the whole thing. But then the next palette from them, I'm sure you guys can guess, is going to be the Surge palette. This is so absolutely beautiful. You've got like these neons, you've got these pastels, you've got like some like medium grunge types of shades, and you have like darker grunge, and again like these shimmers as well are seriously just absolutely beautiful, stunning. I love being able to play with the two palettes together. I can use them individually, whatever the case may be. Blend Bunny has a great formula as well, and honestly, when I knew that like I wanted like, truthfully, these kind of remind me of like a rainbow-esque kind of palette without being necessarily like the most rainbow, but like it's like a rainbowness. Like you've got your greens, blues, purples, pinks, reds, you know, oranges, whatever the case may be, that is in here, and I love it. Their brand is so good, and like I knew I needed these two palettes. So the next two palettes are going to be from Lunar Beauty. So first and foremost, this palette right here is the Nude Prism that he just launched, but I love this. I feel like this provides kind of more nude options than maybe like the Dollhouse does, like different options than the Dollhouse does. Different like depths and intensity. The shimmers are a little bit different. It's not like so bam in your face metallic. These are definitely like a lot more softer and lighter and topperish. So I feel like these two like complement each other very well. And you know, I do like neutrals here and there, so I really like that I can do almost any neutral look out there with all the palettes that I have, especially with the Dollhouse and this. The packaging, 10 out of 10, is absolutely stunning. Color story is beautiful. Price point was there. Quality is there. This is a really, really good, decent palette. And I definitely, you know, love Lunar Beauty. I love their formula, so I definitely knew I needed to have one of their palettes. And so I'm putting this in here. The second one that I'm putting in here is literally based solely on like just like aesthetic and like the whole vibe, and that's like the Lunar Beauty Moonspell palette. I can't get rid of this. Like I could never get rid of this. But you have like, you know, these purples, and you've got some neutrals, and you've got like some greens, and I do like the formula. I think the formula is really nice. I have had this for a really long time, so it's probably starting to get like there's the shimmers a little bit like old, but I don't care. Like I will never ever ever get rid of this palette, like ever. And they don't make it anymore, which makes me sad because this is such a good palette. And I know I'm keeping it basal. I mean, I do like the color store, and I do like you know, like the quality of it as well, but I'm mostly keeping this one for like the aesthetic. Don't even care that it looks like a spell book. It's witchy vibes. I'm here for it. That's the reason why I'm keeping that. Shame me if you want. Okay, so next up, I really love this brand as a whole. I think like the whole like concept, the way they do packaging, just like things like that is just like so cool. I love, like, I know some people find it really cheesy, like the packaging and like at how it's like the theme of this brand, but I do really like them. I think they have a great quality formula, and when this palette launched, it's a good palette. That is the Glamlight Michaela palette. I love this palette. So, I mean, again, it's just like a really good rainbow option. It has tons of the tones that I love, tons of neutrals as well. You know, some like very light type of oranges, you know, a couple blues in case I ever wanted to dabble in blue, which not very often, truthfully. So, but I love this. The quality is there, the pigmentation is there, the blendability is there. I absolutely love this. I love like the artwork. I just knew that like I really liked their formula. And when I was thinking like I need to be able to create any and all looks no matter what, when I was picking these palettes, and I feel like I can get tons of really good, cute, rainbow-esque type of looks out of here. This shade right here, what is this called? The Best Color. Seriously, this is my all-time favorite color, like period. Like in real life, like that's my all-time favorite color, and so I'm glad that's in there. One of my favorite colors is in there. Lots of great neutral options. I have really dug into this palette. As you can tell up on those neutral shades, I've really started to make some dips in them just because it's such a good foolproof palette. I feel like some of y'all might be getting nervous that we are down to almost the end, and I haven't mentioned one brand that I feel like a lot of you guys would have been like, I figured this would have been at the top of your list. They're definitely there at the top of my list, but I wanted to save them for last. So that is going to be Give Me Glow Cosmetics. Yeah, if you've never been here before, I'm a sucker for Give Me Glow. If you've been here before, this probably comes as no shock. So there are two palettes from this brand that I definitely knew I wanted to keep. The first one is going to be the Bad Witch Club palette. First of all, okay, similar to the Moonspell, I love like the packaging, I love the vibe, I love the witchiness of it, I love the shade names, but I love just like the grunge ability of this palette. I love like you have like these grunge blues, grunge purples, grunge greens. This has everything I need in it, because like I did have like, you know, some grunge greens and like the like Surge and the Oceanic palette and some of the Nomad, but again, I feel like this provides even more shades than what I already have. And again, I can't get over like, look at the cute little witch and the packaging and the shade names. I love this palette. This is seriously such a good palette. I knew I had to bring this with. Like I will not leave without this. This is going to be one of my top 10s, top 5s that I need. The next one from Give Me Glow is also a more recent one, and that's going to be the Two Moods palette. I love this. I love like pinky purple type tones, and I love this palette. I love like the setup of it. You have like your light pinky shades. You kind of have more of like your berries. Here's kind of like a neutral berry, your more purpley berries, kind of like some like light soft pinks and some light soft peaches up here. And I just love the way it's laid out. You can mix and match all of them. You can just use quads, use rows, use columns, just like whatever the case may be. You're going to be able to easily get a look. The quality, of course, is there. I mean, it's Give Me Glow. The pan sizes are nice and big. You can wear this for like every day at the office. If you had a job, or if I had a job, which I don't, I mean, I have a job, but like I don't have a job where like I can't wear certain makeup. Like my makeup can't be like VAM in your, you know, it has to be like where it can't be VAM in your face. It has to be very like subdued. I don't have that, but if I did, or you know, I ever were to switch jobs or take something where I do have to kind of calm down my makeup, at least I know I would have this in my collection and easily be able to do that while also being like, oh, I'm gonna go out here in a couple of hours. I can just reach back into this and like pump it up for like a date night. I absolutely love this palette. So I definitely know I need to take this with me as well. All right, so that is it for today's video. Those are the 10 palettes where if I was forced to keep only 10 palettes, those are the 10 that I would choose. I know they're all indie brands. I know, yeah, they're all indie brands. I can hear some people being like, did you like intentionally choose indie brands? And I didn't intentionally choose them. I just think indie brands are really good. Some of them like just kill it. You know, you can't really compete with it. I don't feel like Pat McGrath or Natasha Denona comes close to most or any of these indie brands, truthfully. So yeah, it's mostly indie brands. I'm okay with that. I love these palettes. The fact that I was able to just like instantly know what I would need from 10 eyeshadow palettes and was able to instantly just like think of these and then come home and just be like, yeah, I'm reinforcing my opinion. These are the 10 that I need. So that was really easy for me to do. Let me know if this would be something that would be easy for you to do, to pick just 10 palettes. If so, what would just your 10 palettes be? Or maybe if you just have like, I would only keep like 3. What 3 are they? Let me know all of that down below. If you enjoyed this video, definitely give this a thumbs up. Make sure you've hit that subscribe button. Go follow me over on Instagram, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye.